Thank you and welcome here to Fort McKinley. Just two things I want to talk about. One is our soft opening is actually we're doing a Father's Day buffet on June 17th. So it's nothing big. We're just maybe like 200 people for lunch and 200 people for dinner, and then we're going to have our pianist in the dining room, and then we're going to have Boy Palacios and Anne-Marie Santos, right?
Yeah, Santos.
Singing in the bar. And then, this is an appropriate setting because Philippine American Press Club, we'd like to share, this, as we start new at Fort McKinley, from Intramuros to Fort McKinley, we still wanted to remain true to the theme of it being a fort, looked like a fort. So, but this time we wanted to divert from Filipino Spanish to Filipino American cuisine. So that thereby, the link of the the U.S. fort in the Philippines back then when Fort McKinley is our link, our historical link in introducing Filipino American cuisine. So we'll be introducing, even on weekends, Filipino and American breakfast. Filipino and American breakfast. We're developing, like a bibingka pancake with calamansi syrup, things like that. And then, anyway, the other thing I'd like to share is we were very fortunate. Tiffany and I were very, very fortunate. Like I posted on Facebook just the other day. It was heaven sent. We met the original owner of this building, Mr. John and Judy Graciano. John Graciano, 98 years old, and his wife Judy built this building from scratch and built it as the Brentwood Lodge. It was never a funeral home, really, nor a mortuary. As a matter of fact, I spoke with him. They were very gracious. We did not search them. They came to us. They found out. They said, "I heard you're taking over this building," and they introduced themselves to us. So I said, "Mr. Graciano, can you do us a favor? Can we interview you and videotape you and spread it on YouTube?" I said, "Yes, and you will tell the story briefly. I'll because all of you are impressed. I'd like to share with you briefly the story. It's very funny." So I said, "Mr. Graciano, how did the rumor start? Why, to this point, people ask us, or they even say, 'Oh, we've been there when that was a mortuary.'" And he laughs. He says, "This is how it started. When they built this from scratch in 1955, it was just the bar, and then the bar had dining tables in there, so it was a bar and dining room." So he says one evening the dining room was full. He was talking to his architect, which was his brother. His brother, right? Yeah.
Yes, his brother. His
brother was the architect, talking about expansions, the restaurant into banquet room and all that. And they came into an argument, and then in the dining room, he said, "Well, what the hell? If it doesn't work out, we can turn it into a funeral home." That's how it started. It's a funny story, He even said, "I know how that started. I know how that started." So maybe you can spread it out.
That's a scoop.
That's the real thing.
Thank you.
Good statement.
We will definitely spread the word. This is the Fort McKinley. And you know what? This room is called the MacArthur Room. Yes.
How did you come up with the name? What's the reason behind it?
Well, like I said, I tried to search for...
We're not in a press conference.
I tried to search for, a historical tie-up of anything in the fort. And one also, I was debating between Fort McKinley and Fort Bonifacio. But Fort McKinley was the previous name before it became Fort Bonifacio. And I think Fort McKinley will ring to Filipinos. They know that. They know, it's Filipino, but at least it may ring to mainstream. It doesn't scream Filipino right away, but because we're introducing Filipino American cuisine, that's a way to, bring them in.
Maybe you still in the fort.
So are you targeting a lot more mainstream?
No, believe it or not, as I've told Tiffany, I'm very loyal to our market, which is a Filipino market. I love traditional food, but and Tiffany, who's had breakfast place for 24 years. She's been in the restaurant business, and I've been a customer of Tiffany for the last 7 years. That's how I met Tiffany. And I told her, Tiffany, let's put the two together. And anyway, there's this Filipino and American history, and that never everyone has done Filipino Spanish, but we want to introduce. So things like we're going to have Spam's Benedict using spam. So there.
Who is Tiffany? I know, but I don't think everybody knows.
Tiffany. Yeah, Tiffany is our major partner in here. Tiffany, I'm very fortunate, believed in me, in the whole concept, and loves the Filipino community. That's why her sister-in-law, 2 sister-in-laws are Filipina. She loves Filipino food, so I'd like you to share, Tiffany.
I'm not very good speaking in the public, so I'm just very fortunate to have Barry as a partner. This man is one of the most talented, dedicated, and loyal person I've ever met.
Yay.
So for him to be a partnership, it's just amazing.
It's exciting.
It's very exciting. Yeah.
We definitely want to serve the Filipino American community. We want this to be a venue for all the organizations, for all your fundraising. We're open. Anything, really, call us. We will work with you. We have. So this is the main dining room. This is the MacArthur's Den. The big music hall in there. We've extended the dance floor into a hardwood floor all the way to the end, a maple hardwood floor. Reason is Tiffany's an avid ballroom dancer.
Yay.
So we're going to have salsa nights, ballroom dancing classes in here. And then so that we call the Officers Club.
So we can eat, we can dance, we can have fun, and do whatever we need to do, right?
Like a true Filipino.
Yes.